with 6:45 remaining. Tatum drives down and throws it down. Wow!
Jayson Tatum has turned into a bona fide superstar in the NBA. Despite being witness to his great performance on the court, there are things about his personal life that you may not know about. From not wanting to play with his current team to growing up with another NBA superstar. Here are 10 things you didn't know about Jayson Tatum. Number 10. He wanted to play for the Lakers. Jayson Tatum is the best player on the Boston Celtics right now. He's been handed the keys to the franchise ever since he dunked on LeBron James. But did you know that he originally didn't want to play for the team? He actually wanted to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. Being drafted by the sworn rivals of your favorite team kinda sounds like some sort of twisted punishment from the basketball gods. Growing up, Tatum was a big fan of Kobe Bryant. I mean, who wasn't? Kobe inspired a whole generation of basketball players, and some of them even went on to play in the NBA. So, when he was drafted, it's pretty understandable why he was hesitant about being in Boston. But it wasn't because he disliked the franchise. You'd be surprised why he didn't want to be drafted by the Celtics. Keep watching. Jayson Tatum was drafted in 2017, and back then, the Boston Celtics had a pretty solid roster. They were one of the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference with guys like Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, and Jaylen Brown on the team. So, before he was drafted, Tatum was concerned about getting playing time with the Celtics. After being convinced by Coach K to give the team a chance, he relented, and the rest is history. Now, Jayson Tatum is the Celtics franchise player and is looking like a generational talent who will bring another championship to the storied franchise.
How are you feeling now that you have officially been drafted by the Celtics?
It's an incredible feeling. I got to give honor to God to be in this position. The feeling is just everything I wish for and more. I'm trying not to cry right now. But I'm so happy.
Number 9. He is the youngest player to score 40 points in the Celtics-Lakers rivalry. The Celtics-Lakers rivalry is one of the most prominent rivalries in all of sports. The two historic teams have been going at it since the 60s and featured some of the greatest players to ever play the game, like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Now, you could only imagine the confused excitement Jayson Tatum probably felt going into this matchup. I mean, he was a Lakers fan growing up, and now he has to go against that team with the Celtics. Out of all the historic players who have ever played in the rivalry, Jayson Tatum is the youngest to ever drop 40 points in the matchup. He did this just a month after Kobe's passing, as a tribute to his idol. Tatum ended the game with a total of 41 points, but the team lost to the Lakers. Fun fact, the last player who scored at least 40 points in this matchup was Paul Pierce way back in 2001. Number 8. He has a son. In December of 2017, Jayson welcomed his son, Jayson Tatum Jr., into the world, better known as Deuce. Everyone in the TD Garden goes wild whenever they see Tatum's kid in the stands or when he crashes his dad's post-game interviews. Even Jayson's Celtics teammates love Deuce. Marcus Smart even said that Deuce was the biggest rock star from the Tatum family. Former Celtics player Enes Carter echoed his sentiments and agreed that everyone loves Deuce. It's no secret how affectionate Jayson is to his son. You could see Deuce all over his dad's social media. In fact, during the NBA bubble, Jayson would call Deuce up in a video chat and read bedtime stories for his son. The whole Celtics organization and fan base loved Deuce so much that they even joked that they should stockpile picks and assets so that they could draft him in the 2036 NBA draft. Number 7. He has been compared to NBA greats. Jayson Tatum is a very gifted scorer. While he may not be the most athletic player on the court, his wide arsenal of offensive skills and his polished footwork makes him a very dangerous weapon for the Boston Celtics. His impressive scoring numbers have drawn comparisons with other NBA superstars, most notably to Paul Pierce, who was also a Celtics legend. Like the truth Tatum isn't super explosive, but both share a penchant for being crafty scorers and having a mean fadeaway. Of course, Paul Pierce isn't the only Paul Jayson has been compared to. He's been compared to LA Clippers shooting guard Paul George. While I admit they do have similar builds, Tatum is more coordinated in his movements when making shots or handling the ball. And unlike George, Tatum does not choke during big games in the playoffs. That clutch factor is what ultimately separates Jayson Tatum from other players. The confidence to take that game-winning shot when the lights shine brightest makes him belong in a tier of superstars that only a select few are a part of. Number 6. He came from a family of basketball players. Jayson Tatum was built for basketball. It feels like he was born and raised to be an NBA superstar. Both his parents, Brandy Cole and Justin Tatum, were star athletes in high school. His mother was even offered a volleyball scholarship in college. His father, on the other hand, played college basketball at St. Louis University and went on to play professionally overseas in the Netherlands. When his playing career ended, he returned to St. Louis and became a coach for different high school and college teams, one of which included Jayson Tatum. Justin coached his son's high school basketball team and pushed him to be the player he is today. He would make older players go hard on Jayson to toughen him up and make sure he rose above the competition. He is also good friends with former NBA player Larry Hughes, who became Jayson's godfather. Not only that, but Jayson is also cousins with former NBA player and current LA Clippers head coach Tyronn Lue. It's pretty safe to say that basketball runs in Tatum's genes, and being surrounded by basketball for most of his life contributed to his meteoric rise in the NBA.
We've put in the knowledge of it and the push, but God has obviously blessed him with talent, and I want him to reach his goal, and his goal is to be very successful in the sport he loves to play and hopefully reach the NBA and be very successful there.
You know, walking across that stage, you know, getting drafted into the NBA, you know, that's always been a dream come true. You know, if it happens, you know, for any kid that plays basketball, you know, everybody wants to go to the NBA. You know, only so many guys can go, but, you know, the road doesn't end there. You know, that's just the beginning if you get drafted.
Number 5,
you still got a lot.
He has a very close relationship with his mother. Jayson Tatum's mother, Brandy Cole, was only 19 years old when she had him. For a teenager just getting into college, raising a baby can be a tough situation to be in. But Brandy never gave up and refused to drop out. She made a lot of sacrifices just so she could pursue her dreams while also providing a good life for her son. She took Jayson with her everywhere she went. When she went to law school, Jayson was there with her while she took the classes. As a single mom, she worked 2 jobs while attending school and making enough time to see her son's games. When he was young, Brandy would grill Jayson with interview questions, preparing him for the time he would be asked by ESPN reporters. She knew back then that her son was going to be something special, and boy was she right. To commemorate their relationship, Jayson had a tattoo of him and his mom on his calf. Number 4, he carries a Lion King lunchbox to every game. Most of us grew up watching classic Disney movies. Now and then, we all like to go back and reconnect with that part of our childhood. Now, Jayson Tatum has been spotted carrying around a Lion King lunchbox to his games. He may soon be the king of the Boston Celtics, but that's not the reason why he carries this lunchbox. The real reason may surprise you. Stay tuned. Jayson Tatum's son, Deuce, loves animals and particularly favors lions. It's no surprise that his favorite Disney movie is The Lion King. So, when Jayson carries food to his games, he makes sure to carry it in a Lion King lunchbox so that his son Deuce will know that his father is always thinking of him. Number 3, he is already a FIBA gold medalist. Before even playing a single minute in the NBA, Jayson Tatum has proven that he has superstar-level talent. The players selected into USA's national roster are usually the best of the best. Tatum winning gold medals in the FIBA World Championship should be enough to tell you just how good he is as a basketball player. Although he is yet to represent Team USA in the Senior League at the time, he has done enough to show that he can ball with the best of them. Jayson Tatum was a gold medalist in the 2013 FIBA Americas Under-16 Championship, the 2014 FIBA Under-17 World Championship, and the 2015 FIBA Under-19 World Championship. The latter championship run was the most impressive, as he helped the USA national team go on a 7-0 record and earned him Eurobasket.com All-World Championship Under-19 second team honors. Number 2. He grew up with Bradley Beal. Before they were both NBA stars, Bradley Beal was the mentor to a young Jayson Tatum. Both of them grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and attended the same high school. Even back then, Beal knew and saw the potential of Jayson Tatum. In fact, it was him who introduced Tatum to his trainer, Drew Hanlon, who is known for developing young prospects into elite talents. Bradley Beal had a front row seat watching Jayson develop into the player we know today. He considers him as his unofficial little brother and was always there to give him extra motivation. Like Beal before him, Jayson Tatum also became a Gatorade National Player of the Year and a McDonald's All-American. Now they're both in the NBA and continue to keep a close friendship. Number 1, he never backed down from LeBron James. The moment Jayson Tatum stepped on the court, he proved himself to be a top player in this league. Both on and off the court, he continues to show us that he is the rightful face of the Boston Celtics franchise. Even in his rookie year, he showed the world what he was capable of. It all culminated in the 2018 Eastern Conference Finals when the Celtics faced off against the LeBron-led Cavaliers. Both Tatum and James are wing players, and both were assigned to guard each other for a huge part of their matchup. The heated 7-game series was filled with highlights, but the most memorable part was when Jayson Tatum had a thunderous dunk and put LeBron James on a poster. Most rookies would tremble when facing off against the King, but Jayson Tatum was not like most rookies. LeBron has since considered Tatum a great player and acknowledged his talents. He even dubbed him as an absolute problem and called him a young king on Instagram. Not bad for someone who's only in his 4th season in the NBA.
That was a special moment for me, because it's different. It's my first year in the league, so I grew up, watching LeBron and, asking him to follow me back on Twitter, going to his camps. So just to, my first year be able to compete.
So, what do you think? Does Jayson Tatum have what it takes to be the best player in the league? Will he ever lead the Celtics to a championship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.
I miss you, Deuce.